Okay, now let's get into our main topic. All right, Microsoft Developer Direct has happened and it is gone. It happened on January 25th. And just to kind of give you guys a heads up, this is, we're not going to go in too much detail about each one. We're going to kind of just jump around a little bit for this. But it happened on the 25th, and we got some dates on a couple of games, except one. Some of the games that were in that development was Minecraft Legend, that's coming out April 18th. We have,
Oh,
we'll say what?
oh, that's my opinion. Like,
Oh, yeah, okay.
oh,
Redfall, May 2nd. Uh, Elder Scroll Online next expansion that is called Necrom, that is coming out June 20th. And we have Forza Motorsports coming out in 2023, which is surprising because I thought they would actually have a date based on what we have seen so far. And then Hi-Fi Rush, a new game from Tango
Tango
Overworks?
GameWorks.
Yeah, GameWorks. That came out right now that you can buy, and I can't speak for other Game Pass. It's on Game Pass right now, but buying it, all I know so far, Steam has it for $29.99, which that was a surprising price.
Hey,
Like,
I
not a lot of
mean,
games for $30. That's a surprising game for a new game, like that. But before we go into the games, let's talk about the overall presentation. We both watched it, or we skimmed through, or whatever. How'd you feel about the presentation overall?
presentation overall, I liked the parts where they actually just showed the gameplay and talked a little about it. I did not particularly find anything enjoyable or take anything of value from
Okay.
just the hands-on, the face-to-face with the developers. That's great that they gave them FaceTime. It's great to show who's working on it, that they care, but a lot of it just felt too paint by numbers propaganda-ish.
Is it because of the
Um,
cuts? It's the cuts, isn't it?
it was a little bit of the cuts, and it borderline felt like they were the padding it, padding the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
But I what they showed, the games that they showed, I was cool with.
Okay. First of all, shout out for them for keeping the time good. It was about like under 50 minutes, so that was good for
Yeah,
that.
about
Uh,
44 minutes.
yeah, so good for them. Keep that. Keep that. That would be great. Just keep it that
Yes.
around that range. Presentation flow, I thought it was really good. Yes, I can agree, but I do appreciate them giving a shout out for the developers. I don't think they overstay too much of their welcome. I think they got enough for us to be interested into it. I do agree with some people where I wish that some people we actually saw like a good run of the game itself instead of seeing cuts of the game. Especially if
Yeah,
people said Redfall, we would love to see a mission being played instead of just highlights of what was impressive about it. So I do agree with that because people want to just see how it flows with the games. But overall, I think they have something here. I mean, not Mario, Nintendo Direct really set that platform of just do what we do, and you'll be just fine. And
yeah.
so, and it works.
I mean,
So,
even to the point of, hey, Hi-Fi Rush, it's out now.
yes, the
Shadow
Shadow Drop.
dropping
Mhm.
games. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
but
think that's fun.
I think compared to them, compared to State of Play, I do like Microsoft's style of the whole like it looks like people are right on the board and you're circling the date of when this is coming out. I like that format style they're doing it. It feels very it makes it feel like that's their thing. And I
Yeah,
like that.
they found their voice.
I feel like State of Play to me feels really copied too much of Nintendo Direct and all that. So I kind of like how they're making it feel like, you know, like like studios are going over here doing that development, circling the day and everything. So I kind of
Yeah,
like that. They have
yeah.
something here, and I hope that we get that in some shape or form in the E3 that will be coming up. Hopefully, they're going to be in there instead of hearing world premiere 1,000 times. So yeah, because no, I don't really care about world premiere without hearing that
Oh
1,000 times.
goodness. Yeah,
And
no,
so
nobody cares about a world premiere. It's like it was already teased on whatever site a
exactly,
day ago.
exactly. But let's talk about some of the games that did stand out. What's the game? What game stood out to you? And I'm pretty sure I already know what the first one you're going to say, and I'm
Yeah.
probably on the same boat with you.
Well, what's funny is there are only 5 games they covered in this, which makes it much easier to go over than the state of play or whatever.
Mm.
Um, I it was a tie, but because I can get my hands on it now, Hi-Fi Rush caught my attention.
Yeah, so let's talk about Hi-Fi Rush. You are downloading that right now, and you haven't had a chance to play, so you can't really give us your opinion yet. But I can't wait to hear about it maybe on our next recording. But this was a surprise. I think a lot of people were by it, especially from the developers that did Ghostwire Tokyo and the Evil Within. And this, I'm guessing, this is the part where you were talking about like
the tonal jump.
Yeah. Yes, doing something totally different.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. I was like, Tango's doing this? Oh snap!
Even they did it they did it even in the video. Like, seriously, we did this? So
yeah, it's like Evil Within 2, Ghostwire Tokyo, Hi-Fi Rush. It was like, oh, and it looks like they mashed Western and Japanese animation styles together too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Immediately, I know that a lot of people get more of the Jet Set Radio, but it's definitely more of a Sunset Overdrive than Jet Set Radio. Especially just the way the gameplay is. For people that don't know, the gameplay is an action game, but it's based on rhythm. And you can still run around and hack and slash all you want, but they award you more when you fight within the rhythm. And they're saying everything in that game is on a beat. And
yes.
that was pretty cool how they're doing it. The animation is beautiful. It was great how they did it with the scenes. I will say the main character is very generic. Could have been a little more pizzazz, but it's fine. If this game does well and they do a sequel, they can fix that in the next one. Yeah. I think they just needed to get the game out. But even with the way he runs with the beat. And I was like, okay, that's fine. But no, I think it looks really, really good. I'm a sucker for worlds that just look nuts like that game.
Yeah, it's very vibrant. It's very busy.
That's where the Jet Set feels. That's where it feels like for a Jet Set. Yeah,
it's very vibrant. I'm not going to say it feels alive, but it feels busy.
Yes,
not in a bad way.
And it should be, right? It's music bumping everywhere. It should be feeling busy, sounding busy, and everything. Which they said there's a lot of licensed songs that are on there. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like that it should have just been original songs, or do you like them? No. They got copyrights of these rock songs.
No, you could have some original music and also get some popular music. I think they said Black Eyed Peas.
No, you're thinking the Black Keys.
Black Keys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Black Keys. And got some additional rock, got some pop. It's like that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm all about that, because you know what the game's about. If you want the combos, you better hit that button on the 2s and 4s, not the 1s and 3s. If you know, you know. So I don't have a problem with that at all. And
I think it would have been awesome. And this is just me. It'd been awesome if they were original music from them for that album. That would have been pretty cool. But I understand that's a lot of money too.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be $29.99 probably.
No,
I don't know.
No, absolutely not.
But at the same time, I think we're also the last couple of years we're kind of spoiled on original music, because there's been so many games with wonderful soundtracks, wonderful orchestral soundtracks, and whatnot. But I don't mind that they're doing some licensed music, because honestly, what better than to get you in that mood than something you're familiar with, or you've heard this song before, you got the lyrics, you're like, you're going to be bobbing your head while you're pressing and moving everything, or dodging traps to the beat.
Yeah, I definitely think this is a game that Microsoft needed right now, because a lot of their games are all in the same kind of tone of more of dark and grim and very
drab grays and browns.
Yeah. So it's nice to see them pop up with the color. Now they have if this game does well, they have a new series hit over there. So I'm very happy for them, especially for the Japanese developers like that, because they don't have a lot for that. And good points for Bethesda. But I think this was great, not only for that game, but just alone of Microsoft really trying to really show, okay, we're coming into 2023. Here's our first one that's already out.
First month. First game in 2023. Boom.
Yeah. I think the other one that kind of stood out for me, weirdly enough, I probably won't play it, but Forza Motorsport, that actually stood out to me.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I guess this is the reason why. Graphically, I like that game. I like seeing those games for the graphical point, because those are the most detailed. It looks great, but it also gives me hype of the capability of what they can do next with the next game. That is Fable. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with Fable, because they're going to use that engine for that game. So I'm like, man, that means this game might be looking very gorgeous for the next Fable game, whatever that direction is going to be. Because I have to give Turn 10 and Playground Games credit of they're playing, they're evolving with each other. Like, you know, whatever Horizon does, the next Motorsport takes it from there.
Forza Horizons.
Yeah, they take it and they go further with it. And now they're going to take that and go further with it. So I love developers that do that. They're learning off each other instead of like, you do your own thing, I do my own thing. It's like, no, you guys are a family. Like, really learn from each other and try to better each other. You know, it's almost like competition, but not competition.
No, it's iron sharpens iron.
It's,
you know, as I'm prone to say. Mm-hmm. And you're right. Forza Motorsport, you know, the Gran Turismo, the more simulation one, which honestly is giving Gran Turismo a run for its money as far as realism and car licenses.
Either way, go ahead.
Well, like you said it. And Forza, the next Forza Horizon game, which may come out maybe 2024, 2025, we'll use that and we'll push it further. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I guess that's the benefit of Microsoft Game Studios all being kind of siloed.
Mm-hmm. You said meh on the Minecraft Legends. I'm kind of
biased.
What's your piece on it? It's just that's the series you just never got into. I never got into the series.
I never got it. It's funny because I'm like, oh yeah, I love Valheim, blah blah blah. I'll play some Valheim right now. But Minecraft, I never got into it. It just didn't capture my imagination. It didn't make me go, I want to try that. And while Minecraft Legend, what they're saying you could do, and the 4v4, that sounds awesome. I'm not saying it's going to be a bad game. It's just, it doesn't look like it's for me. And I'm like, I'm not excited for it. So I want to strike that nuance of, it looks great for those who are, if they like Minecraft, they're going to be very happy. But it does nothing for me.
Yeah, I'm the same boat with you. That might be also because and this is for anything really, when the fan base is so heavy on it, it kind of turns me off and I don't want to play it. So I just miss it. When Minecraft was it was a phenomenon. Everybody talked about it. So it kind of turned me off. So I just never got into it and I just never cared to continue on it. But what I have seen the impressiveness of people do with that game, kudos to them. Like, yeah. But with those type of games, that's meant for building like that. I don't want to waste too much of my time doing that.
And that's
for
the
me.
Thing. Mm-hmm. There are I don't mind certain building and creativity to a point, but I personally have to have some sort of narrative drive, some sort of goal. And yes, Minecraft does have a kind of loose narrative. You go here, you develop up this tech tree until you take on, I guess, the Ender Dragon or whatever. That's as far as I know about the lore. But for the most part, what almost everybody else really plays it for is just creating your things and playing with a bunch of friends. And that's great. It's just not for me. I would get bored.
Then we have Redfall, which I'll be asking you an interesting question after this. But Redfall looks good. It looks good for what they were trying to do. I'm glad they got more time for it. I said before, and I think you agreed that, you know, we wish we saw an actual like mission that they went on, just pure gameplay.
Snippets of missions. They talked about some missions, but it wasn't a start to finish.
Yeah, like a 5-minute mission of gameplay or something like that.
Yeah,
but it looks good. I think a lot of people really gave this, you know, Back 4 Blood vibe, and I don't think that is true anymore. It's more of like a Borderlands in a vampire kind of realm kind of style. With everybody's with particular perks and everything like that.
Yeah, specializations, but they could all play the game. You don't have to be any one character.
One thing that I someone noticed, because I enjoy IGN's Xbox podcast on Lock. I really like that cast a lot. And some of the ladies there that are big shooter games, they were excited for it. And they point out something I didn't notice, and I was like, oh. And it is like when you play the game, you never see them look through their scopes. Did you notice that? They say like a certain class. They say a certain class you can do it, but like just grabbing a gun with a scope on it, you can't like look down the sight of like a. Like that.
You don't do aim down sights or anything.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Did you notice that?
Does that bother you?
It depends what the situation is, what this game is trying to do. I like the option. Like shooting from the hip is not always the best thing. Something
No.
like Borderlands, for example. Like Borderlands shooting from the hip from everything. I don't want to do that. I like my scopes. You know.
Yeah. Honestly, I did not notice it, but even if I did, I doubt it would bother me.
Okay.
What I was looking at and noticing, and I was actually saying, it's like, ooh, I would play this. I'd play this with Brandy. See what's up. The Borderlands aspect, actually, that is a better comparison. I was going to say if Left 4 Dead, Back 4 Blood, had a baby, but Borderlands is a better comparison, even with a little bit of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, that flavor Borderlands put
because
in.
the game does have loot
Yes,
that you'll be getting that. And I think also the situation is Back 4 Blood and I can't speak too much on Back 4 Blood, but I know Left 4 Dead. Everything is grounded. If you're going to do vampires and stuff flying around, I think a scope would help better, especially if you want to shoot from a distance of certain things. That's just my trouble with it.
The reason I got Back 4 Blood and Left 4 Dead elements from it is because you're going around and your main cannon fodder are cultists, and then you have special vampires or groups of vampires with certain special abilities. Some that are big blood sacks, some that sink to the ground and move around. And that reminds me of the special infected from
Left 4
Dead and Back 4
Absolutely,
Blood.
you're 100% right.
So I mean, yeah, let's split the difference. Back 4 Blood and Borderlands, bam, together.
B&B, got